get on the bus, and we'll have questions for Coach Fitzgerald. Coach, ready when you are.
Yeah, thanks to Arkansas for great hospitality and a really well-run regional. Obviously, would have loved to have stayed longer. On the ground level, on the micro level, it's really easy to be heartbroken by a game like today and last night. I think on the macro level, I'm so proud of where we are as a program. We have an incredible administration, have an incredible AD, Travis Goff, our sport administrator, Sean Lester. I can't imagine two ADs in the world more invested in baseball than they are, and the trickle down from that from our entire athletic department and my staff and these guys. It's just an incredible commitment, and I'm super proud of where we've come. Obviously, I'd like to change the outcome of last night and today, but super proud of these guys, and could not be more excited about where we're headed and the groundwork and foundation that's been laid.
Yeah, just for either of you guys, after some of the dramatic comebacks you pulled off this year, how frustrating was it not to be able to get the one run you needed to tie in those last few innings?
You want to go to me? You can go. All right. Yeah, it's frustrating, but we've all believed in each other all year. We just needed that moment to click, and we just didn't get it these past couple days.
And Michael, how do you kind of reconcile, I guess, the growth of the program over the course of time you've been here, the good vibes for much of the season with how it feels right now?
Yeah, it's not the way we wanted to go out, but I loved my time here playing for Fitz, meeting guys like Hauge this year. But I think we're all incredibly proud of each other. We have nothing to hang our heads about.
Guys, kind of building off of that lengthy careers, you hear Fitz talk about how much ball you guys have played. What are the emotions in game when you feel the time kind of ticking down and you say we gotta score some runs? How do you manage that?
I think, until the last pitch, nobody's ever given up. So I don't think any one of us was prepared to go home, obviously, until 9 innings was said and done. So I don't think there's a whole lot of emotions that go on. It's just like lean into your guys and leave it all out there. And when you do that, you can be, thankful for how you played. In retrospect, obviously, we're all disappointed in the outcome, but really thankful for this group of guys. Fitz, the coaching staff, to give me a chance coming in here. I wouldn't change it unless we made it to Omaha. But I wouldn't change it for the world.
Jackson, your journey to get to Kansas wasn't easy. Just what's it meant to you this entire season, just being able to be on the baseball field and enjoy it with all these guys?
Yeah, it's been amazing. You're right, it hasn't been easy. I wouldn't change it if I could, looking back. But yeah, there was a lot of hard times, and I think just a message to anybody out there: know your worth. And when I hit the portal, it was a super scary time in my life. Coming off a concussion at my old school, coming off of a lot of people tell me, what I was, and I came here and I don't regret a single thing. And I had one guy, tell me to come help his team out, and I had another guy on the other side, telling me I was going to be a 200 hitter at the next level. So really thankful for the chance that I got, and wouldn't change it for the world.
Michael, you touched on, you've been with Fitz for a while now. How have you seen the program grow over your 3 seasons with the Jayhawks?
Yeah, we've obviously made tremendous strides in this program. He's done a terrific job recruiting guys like me and Hauge, stepping up and being leaders on his team. And I think the years to come are going to be tremendous. Obviously we want to go to Omaha this year, but came up a little short. But like I said, I'm incredibly proud of everybody this year.
Michael and Jackson, building off of that, who do you see as the future leaders of this team?
Go ahead.
I mean, obviously you have guys like Dariel and Ballinger and Dom on the mound, and so many guys that can't come back. Other guys that have some pro interest, and you don't know what's going to happen. But Cooper Moore, just some really obvious young talent. And, you know, you see the JUCO class that's coming in. I'm really excited to see, you know, the next wave. And it's fun to be on the front half. And it'll be fun to follow for years to come.
I'd also say to that, yeah, we have some young talent that are obviously leaders on this team, but honestly, I think we're all leaders. You know, everybody has their own part, and, you know, I think no matter if you're new to this program or if you've been here for 3 years like I have, everybody's a leader and everybody listens to one another.
Yeah, and looking at our team, you know, you got guys like Mike and TJ who led throughout the year, and everybody kind of led in their own way. You know, we didn't have a single guy where it was like, that's the captain or that's this, and that's what made this group special is you had so many guys on the same page, and you don't get that very often. So, again, super thankful.
I mean, you guys are the group that got Kansas back to a regional for the first time in, you know, a decade. I mean, what's a lasting memory that you could take from that?
I would say just being with each other for this long, this whole year. Obviously, it's been awesome, all the achievements we've made, but, you know, just hanging with guys in the hotel room and in the locker room, honestly, I think those are honestly the best part about college baseball and college sports in general.
Yeah, you talk about lasting memories and all the things you do off the field with your teammates, but then, you know, you look back at the fan experience this year, that was super special, especially to start the year, where, you know, we're going up there and you hit a home run and you look up and you got 1,000 students just, you know, raining it down from the student section is pretty cool. So I hope that can continue for years to come. And, you know, I think we got the right people in place to put in accommodations so that, you know, we keep having a unique fan experience at Kansas. So.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Guys, congrats on a great year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach Fitzgerald? Go ahead.
Yeah, Dan, obviously, like you mentioned, it was the first regional for Kansas since 2014. Just obviously not the results you wanted, but to get that accomplishment, just what does that kind of do for the groundwork of the program?
Well, I think you know, there are tangible steps you take along the way, and you know, some that are really seen and some that are unseen. I think getting to the NCAA tournament is a very visible step, and so I think it was important that we did that, just to validate the work and the, you know, everything that's gone into it. And really exciting, and I think if you ask the guys on that bus right now or back at the hotel, you know, I think none of them would be surprised by it. We didn't spend a ton of time talking about it. We just talked about the day in, day out, but none of them were surprised that we did this. They're all devastated that we're not still playing, but I think I say that to say, you know, a new bar has been set now in terms of what we're shooting for, and then I think the tangible piece of doing it gives belief of, like, guys, we've done this before.
Coach, you talked about the next step being sustained success. How do you feel like you guys are set up to achieve that, and how much does the culture that you guys have been able to build contribute to that?
Yeah, I think the culture hopefully is driving it, and it's something that we have to take care of every day, and you know, I think the guys, their buy-in starts in the recruiting process. My staff is amazing at that, and we really spend so much time on getting the right people. You know, Jackson Hauge's a great player, but he's an even better person, and so is Brady Council, and so is Brooksy, and so is Tommy. I can just go up and down the lineup here of they're really good men, and I think that when you get a group of guys like that, it becomes sustainable because you're all pulling in the same direction. They're all very different, but they're all like-minded in terms of their humility towards each other and how much they love playing baseball and how much they care about being a Jayhawk.
Coach, I've asked you a few times to reflect on this season a few times, and sometimes you've been hit or miss with that. It probably hasn't sunk in yet, but are there any moments, just looking back, that you'd like to package up and keep?
Oh, there are a billion of them. Yeah, I mean, there's so many great wins, but to me, it's the moments of, like these guys said, it's the moments off the field. I don't know half the stuff that they're talking about. I don't know what I don't even know what it means half the time. But they are really funny, and the joy they have when they're together, the way they treat people. They're really good men, and so I think to package that up is what I'd really like to package up, because that's rare. A team like this is rare to have this many guys that are such elite teammates, amazing teammates. But the list of wins. I mean, we have 27, 26 come from behind wins. I mean, I could do with a few less of those, meaning that we have leads. But yeah, a million memories to think about, and I will definitely. You have my word. I'll spend some time this summer reflecting on it.
Coach, you talked highly about Jackson Hauge all year. Just in the end, how much fun was he to coach?
Oh, he's the best. Yeah, he's the best. He's got a couple speeches memorized, movie speeches that he'll bust out in quite possibly the most stressful times of a baseball game, and he just has a way of bringing people together. He's going to do really special things with his life. I don't think his baseball's over by any means. But what a great kid, and what a picture of he's been really bold and outspoken about some things that we haven't talked about for a really long time as coaches and players, and he's been outspoken, and I think he's probably freed some people up to talk about some things that otherwise weren't necessarily talked about, with his concussion and some mental health stuff. So I'm proud of all of them. I'm incredibly proud of him, because he is a courageous, he's just an awesome, awesome young man.
You've compared building a roster to Moneyball a little bit. How do you, when you talk about culture to an extent, but mostly the personalities, how do you rebuild those in the aggregate?
The personalities? Yeah, I think it's, we're not going to. It's going to be different, but I think the like-mindedness of putting the team ahead of yourself and having the humility to think about your teammates more than you think about yourself, and care about the win more than you care about your stats. And those things are, I don't know that we'll have someone as funny as Jackson next year. I don't know if we'll have someone as surly as Brooksy next year. But we will certainly have guys like them who are like-minded in their humility towards each other, and their level of grit and compete. Like that is something that we will not bend on. So what we look like next year, I don't know. We've got a lot of pieces to replace, but I've got an amazing staff, and those suckers can really recruit. And we will be very busy in the coming weeks.
Any more questions for Coach? Coach, congrats on a heck of a year, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.